Hi, in this video we're going to be delving into 6 essential and enriching life skills that really do have life-changing impact. These skills not only improve the quality of your life, but also offer benefits and side effects that can't truly be appreciated until you properly learn them. The first 4 items in this video is going to be covering more practical and tangible life skills, and the final 2 are more abstract skills. Both are equally useful and beneficial, but do let me know in the comments if you think I've missed any. At the end of every skill I will provide some suggestions on how to develop them, so now let's get straight into it. And the first one is public speaking. Glossophobia, which is the term for the fear of public speaking, is one of the most common fears worldwide, and studies show it affects about 75% of the population. In many surveys it ranks even higher than the fear of heights, spiders, or even death. The fact that this is a worldwide phenomenon suggests that it's not a cultural effect, but rather it's something that is woven deeply into our DNA. The reason is that it relates to the fear of negative judgment, for which the vast majority of human history would have spelled the worst circumstances. Like many observations in modern times, it's a classic case of our genetics not catching up with our environment. You might be listening to this and thinking that even though you experience this fear, you can't ever imagine yourself taking public speaking seriously. Well, the benefits of public speaking and refining this skill extends beyond just on-stage lecturing. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, future potential best man at a wedding, or even if you get asked to present a project at work, having a basic level of competency in this area will massively help you in your goals. Overwhelming research and evidence shows that the best way to develop the skill and conquer the fear is to gradually and systematically practice it. Psychologists call this exposure therapy, and it doesn't mean you need to throw yourself straight into a TED talk. It simply means moving slowly closer to the trigger and convincing your brain that you can handle it. This has the added benefit of increasing your own self-esteem, as much of that is related to your own perspective on your own character. By challenging areas of discomfort and improving, the corresponding skills will stack up in your subconscious over time. The next one is first aid. Just like public speaking doesn't have to mean becoming a TED speaker, first aid doesn't mean studying for a medical degree. There's a decent chance in your lifetime that you will directly witness some kind of accident or incident that requires medical intervention. Of course, in an ideal world, we would leave this to the professionals, but there may be a situation where we don't have the luxury of time, or stabilising the situation before the medics arrive may be of paramount importance. Some of the basic scenarios that you might want to learn about are CPR, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, handling bleeding, treating burns, dealing with choking, addressing shock, and immobilizing fractures to prevent further injury. Most towns and communities will have organizations such as the Red Cross, St. John Ambulance, and more that provide training courses and information, and choosing to enroll in one can literally have life-saving implications. And the next item on the list is coding. We now live in a world where technology and its reliance is only increasing. Therefore, both from a career perspective and as a general concept to understand, computer programming is one of the most useful and sought after skills. Pretty much every industry utilizes a technology infrastructure, from healthcare, finance, media, and beyond. I generally don't advocate for people to study subjects that don't resonate with them personally, but if you have any affiliation for logic, mathematics, or technology, and you're unsure about where to start your career, computer programming and software engineering is a pretty safe bet. Another big bonus is that you aren't limited to just studying this formally in an undergraduate university degree. Many successful programmers are self-taught, either from the plethora of online resources or the large number of books and cost-effective courses that are available. As a software engineer myself, coding has become an invaluable skill which unlocks so much potential, both from personal projects to career possibilities. The next one is self-defense. Just like first aid, the benefits of acquiring this skill can be profound. In the same way that nobody would hope to be in a situation that requires first aid, most of us would never wish to need to have to defend oneself. But even if you never need these skills, there are some added benefits. Firstly, there's the confidence and self-esteem. Whether or not you have any intention to fight, knowing that you can handle yourself allows you to take more important risks, but more significantly, it lessens the fear you experience from many daily activities. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I don't know where to start or which activity to pick. There are options like boxing, judo, and many other martial arts, but here's my suggestion. In an ideal world, you would have two major tools in your self-defense toolbox: striking and grappling. If you're more suited to a long, disciplined route, then traditional martial arts like karate or taekwondo can work particularly well, although the benefits only really show in the long term. For most people, boxing, kickboxing, or Muay Thai can be more suitable since you develop the basics more rapidly while simultaneously getting an incredible workout. In terms of grappling, and this is my personal recommendation, look no further than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The reason I say this is because the martial art is designed to work regardless of strength and size. It's also known to have one of the most friendly and most welcoming communities. In terms of the activity itself, it's no striking and it's just grappling. You learn to use your opponent's leverage and weight against them, and if you're ever taken to the ground, striking is unlikely to help, and being on the ground is exactly where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thrives. So now we come to the less practical and more abstract life skills, and the next one is financial literacy. As the phrase goes, money makes the world go round, so having both a healthy relationship with money and some basic knowledge that makes working with money more intuitive is a majorly important life skill. I'm going to reference two books that can really help you understand some of the basics and how failing to understand them can literally keep you in a place of debt and insecurity. They are Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Psychology of Money. They both delve into some important concepts, but also emphasize that much of your financial success will be psychological. The unfortunate reason why many poor people stay poor is because they don't understand some of the fundamentals. You see this with lottery winners, and statistically most people who play the lottery are from lower income households, and a high percentage of winners end up right back where they started and lose all of their winnings. The combination of not knowing what to do with their winnings and mismanaging their funds in conjunction with the psychological effect called the lottery curse often leads to some negative side effects. Added stress, pressure from relatives and random people seeking money can often lead to a decrease in happiness alongside rash financial decisions. As with all of these skills, I'm of the belief that you don't need to study any of these fields professionally, but being able to understand and communicate in the basic language of that field can make good decision making more accessible, as you will know how to hold your own when dealing with the professionals, and this can then reduce the chances of you being exploited in any way. Some practical examples are seeking a mortgage or investing. And the last one from the list is emotional intelligence. This is one of those profoundly influential life skills that goes under the radar by most people and is massively underrated at the same time. According to TalentSmart, emotional intelligence is responsible for 58% of performance in all types of jobs. Their research has also shown that 90% of top performers are high in emotional intelligence. What it really boils down to is your ability to understand and cater towards the emotional needs of those around you, and since most of the world is operated from an emotional perspective rather than a rational one, it makes sense to have this skill in your arsenal. It correlates with performance and success, not just because it makes you more likable and receptive to others, but because having a high emotional intelligence also means you're likely to understand your own personality and brain better, which results in you getting the most out of it. One of the main ingredients you need to increase your emotional intelligence is just having the motivation to do so. There are many smart people lost in their own mind, filled with stresses, uncertainty and doubt. But knowing how to navigate your own psyche makes life more calm, more enjoyable, and gives you higher potential from that clarity. So how do you go about increasing it? Well, there are many options, and the best one will vary depending on your current circumstances and interests. You can take a basic psychology course or read one or more books on the subject. If you're very new to the area, I'd recommend starting with the book Surrounded by Idiots, as it explains and breaks down the different types of personalities and how you interact with each one. Thinking Fast and Slow is a good one if you're a little bit more advanced, and I also have many videos that delve into psychology in different ways too. Another good option, and this will be especially true if you're feeling personally lost or helpless, and that is to see a therapist or psychologist. I did make a video a while back going into the different types of therapists and how to know what to look for so you find the one that resonates most with you, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. Obviously, life skills is a huge topic, so feel free to let me know what you think of this list, if there are any core areas you think I've missed, but largely I've tried to keep it to the essentials and things that genuinely enrich your life, as opposed to very specific or niche areas. If you enjoy this kind of content or got something from it, then feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.